Good evening, Sehion family. Welcome to the Sehion Sunday School Christmas play. This evening, we will be retelling an old traditional folktale, the tale of the three trees. It is a story that has been passed on for generations. As it is often true of folktales, its originator is unknown. But we hope you enjoy it and pray that it brings you the joy and comfort that Christ brought into the world over 2,000 years ago. Merry Christmas from all of us.
Once upon a mountaintop, three little trees stood and dreamed of what they wanted to become when they grew up. The first little tree looked up at the stars twinkling like diamonds above him. "I want to hold treasure," he said. "I want to be covered with gold and filled with precious stones. I will be the most beautiful treasure chest in the world." The second little tree looked out at the small stream trickling by on its way to the ocean. "I want to be a strong sailing ship," he said. "I want to travel mighty waters and carry powerful canes. I will be the strongest ship in the world." The third little tree looked down into the valley below, where busy men and busy women worked in a busy town. "I don't want to leave this mountaintop at all," she said. "I want to grow so tall that when people stop to look at me, they will raise their eyes to heaven and think of God. I will be the tallest tree in the world." Many, many years passed. The rains came, the sun shone, and the little trees grew very tall. One day, three woodcutters climbed the mountain. The first woodcutter looked at the first tree and said, "This tree is beautiful. It is perfect for me." With a swoop of his shining axe, the first tree fell. "Now I shall be made into a beautiful chest," thought the first tree. "I shall hold wonderful treasure." The second woodcutter looked at the second tree and said, "This tree is strong. It is perfect for me." With the swoop of his shining axe, the second tree fell. "Now I shall sail mighty waters," thought the second tree. "I shall be a strong ship fit for kings." The third tree felt her heart sink when the last woodcutter looked her way. She stood straight and tall and pointed bravely to heaven. But the woodcutter never even looked up. "Any kind of tree will do for me," he muttered. With a swoop of his shining axe, the third tree fell. The first tree rejoiced when the woodcutter brought him to a carpenter's shop. But the busy carpenter was not thinking about treasure chests. Instead, his work-worn hands fashioned the tree into a feed box for animals. The once beautiful tree was not covered with gold or filled with treasure. He was coated with sawdust and filled with hay for hungry farm animals. The second tree smiled when the woodcutter took him to a shipyard. But no mighty sailing ships were being made that day. Instead, the once strong tree was hammered and sawed into a simple fishing boat. Too small and too weak to sail an ocean or even a river, he was taken to a little lake. Every day, he brought in loads of dead, smelly fish. The third tree was confused when the woodcutter cut her to strong beams and left her in the lumber yard. What happened? The once tall tree wondered. "All I ever wanted to do was stay on the mountaintop and point to God. Many, many days and nights passed. The three trees nearly forgot their dreams. But one night, golden starlight poured over the first tree as a young woman placed her newborn baby in the feed box. "I wish I could make a cradle for him," her husband whispered. The mother smiled as the starlight shone on the smooth and sturdy wood. "This manger is beautiful," she said. And suddenly, the first tree knew he was holding the greatest treasure in the world. One evening, a tired traveler and his friends crowded into the old fishing boat. The traveler fell asleep as the second tree quietly sailed into the lake. Soon, a thundering and thrashing storm arose. The little tree shuddered. He knew he did not have the strength to carry so many passengers safely through the wind and rain. The tired man awakened. He stood up, stretched out his hand, and said, "Peace." The storm stopped as quickly as it had begun. And suddenly, the second tree knew he was carrying the King of heaven and earth. One Friday morning, the third tree was startled when her beams were yanked from the forgotten woodpile. She flinched as she was carried through an angry, jeering crowd. She shuddered when soldiers nailed a man's hands to her. She felt ugly and harsh and cruel. But on Sunday morning, when the sun rose and the earth trembled with joy beneath her, the third tree knew that God's love had changed everything. It had made the first tree beautiful. It had made the second tree strong. And every time people thought of the third tree, they would think of God. And that was better than being the tallest tree in the world.
Thank you for our actors. Can we have all the actors come out and line up here, please? So while they're getting situated, I wanted to say a big thank you to the Sunday school body. Susan and I wanted to say a big thank you to the Sunday school body, our Sunday school superintendent, and Achin for giving us this opportunity to direct this play this year. So both Susan and I wanted to do something that was a little unconventional from the traditional Christmas play that we had, and so we thank Jisha for sending a few ideas down our way. So having said that, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce all of our actors. Please hold your applause till the very end, and then we'll give them all a big round of applause. So these are the credits. Our narrator is Danita Matthew. Little Tree 1 is Ethan Abraham. Little Tree 2 is Ethan Verghese. Little Tree 3 is Gia Verghese. Big Tree 1 is Joel Zachariah. Big Tree 2 is Nathan David. Big Tree 3 is Rosine George. Woodcutter 1 is Bradley Lucas. Woodcutter 2 is Elijah Verghese. Woodcutter 3 is Joshua Joy. Carpenter was Jonathan Vernon. Working fisherman was Timothy Verghese. Lumberman was Chris Matthew. Mary was Christina Matthew. Joseph was Jeeve Thomas. Jesus was Rahul Matthew. Fisherman 1 was Aaron Sony. Fisherman 2 was Nathan Alex. Fisherman 3 was Andrew Wergies. Fisherman 4 was Joel Matthew. Bystanders, they were Anita Biju, Alina Mathai, Naomi Jacob, Tina Thomas, Alan Abraham, Noel Johnson, Sil Kochuman, and Aaron Matthews. So I want to say a big thank you to all of our children. If you want to give them a big round of applause for a job well done. Last but not the least, I really want to say thank you to our stage crew. This year we really thought we wanted our senior group, our senior team to be involved with us, and so we asked them to build us a few props. So the props that you see here, the beautiful wooden cross and the boat, were built by our senior team. So I do want to definitely recognize Viju Varnan and Jisha, who is the teacher for the senior class, for really seeing this through and taking leadership. Our stage crew who helped us with the props are Paul Varnan, Brian Nynan, Johan Kogur, Jessica Abraham, Sarah Verghese, Hannah Abraham, and Serena Manulu. Serena really helped out with the thank you. Audio was Jitin David, thank you so much. And costume, Sony Verghese and Jubel and Betsy helped us put these all together. So really wanted to say thank you to everybody for giving us this opportunity again. Can we have all the Sunday school children come up? We're going to be singing the Malayalam song next. Okay?